We're here with the Punisher and more general 2-pack with Bushwacker and Punisher. So on the back of the box, we have, a couple covers from the book, and then the symbol and things like that. And then we want to make the one with the white gloves, white boots, even though I know they've made it, so they're going to make it, but whatever. Here's a look at the accessories and the hands and the guns. A lot of accessories here to look at. And his like crapping, pooping head, whatever. And then we have his phallic looking arm and shit like that, but it's cool. Here's a better look of everything that just comes in the box, and I think it all looks pretty good actually. I like this like blast effect here, it's actually really cool. With all the guns and stuff. And the little symbol pouches thing, I think actually looks pretty good on this. This grenade is really oversized and looks kind of funny, but I have more. You can pause to read it if you would like. There's a lot to look at in this 2-pack with them, but I kind of would like just a Punisher release because that would be cheaper, obviously. So they just threw it in the 2-pack, but with a 2-pack, we get Bushwacker, and he's still a cool character. So we're going to be looking at Bushwacker first because, I want to say the best for last, and he's actually pretty detailed in his facial sculpt. I think it's really good. And the scarring is actually really cool. And it goes down to the neck, which is actually pretty awesome. And you can get a better look at it here. Yeah, you can see his scarring goes across. And then near the bottom of his neck, there's a little bit of scarring too. The new like facial printing is really cool in these figures now. And you can see the back has good sculpting. It's just reused from the biker Punisher that we got a while back. I don't have that figure, but I know his torso was just reused from that. And his like phallic looking gun is really cool. And then he has good leg movement, decent enough. But yeah, they could have done more with this figure, but as it is, he's pretty cool sculpt. And then his little pew pew finger gun looks pretty nice actually. It's very funny looking, same with his other arm, but that's his character, so it's not that bad. And I see a lot of people saying it looks gross and things like that, but that's just how it looks in the comics. So, and then we have his like fingerless gloves type of look to hold guns and things like that. You can get a better look at it here, and then yeah, they look pretty good. The sculpt, there's not a lot of paint bleed actually. It looks pretty decent. And you got his, his phallic looking gun for the 15th time I said it. It's nicely sculpted. I wish there was a little bit more paint on it, but like shadowing or something. Same with the little pew pew finger. It actually looks cool. I feel like they could have gave us like a little accessory to come out the tip of it, but I don't know. I guess not, it's fine. And here's the little blast effect that can be shared between any one character, to be honest, but in the 2-pack. It can be used with both of them. There's like grenade fragments coming off. It is actually really detailed. I like it. And like seeing him with the grenade, it actually looks really good. I like that effect. I wish we got more stuff like that. And then taking a look at it, you can get to his articulation. His bicep swivel, full rotation. He has double jointed elbows that go pretty far actually, even though his bicep kind of gets in the way. And pinless arms too, obviously. He has a good amount of forward, but it could be better, but that's just the sculpt. And then the back is not too great, but it does the job. He looks up a decent amount, and I popped the head off here, but you just can't go back too far because his collar kind of hinders it a little bit. He gets a lot of down though with their neck peg that they have on him right now. And then some forward. That's decent, not the greatest, but it's okay. And then double jointed knees, kick him in the butt a little bit. And then his out is terrible, but well, he's a gened character, so I'm not surprised. I don't know, it looks pretty good. And then here's a little pose I did. Okay, now we're to Punisher. And he has a decent amount of accessories and hands, and here's his little, go that way type of hand or whatever. We have like his trigger finger. His other trigger finger. and like kind of a new hand. I haven't seen that before, but it's like a clenching hand. I have his screaming head. Take a look at his guns. He has like an Uzi type of gun going on here. It's good, needs some paint, but it looks good actually. It's pretty solid compared to one of the guns we'll get to. So this is the gun they've been using for a long time, but it's pretty bendy. But the only thing I do like about it actually is the paint, and the bendiness helps put it in his hand easier and like hold it, but it's whatever. I don't know what type of gun this is, but I do like the overall look of it, but it also needs paint, which it lacks. The pistol here actually looks really nice. I do like the brown paint they put on it, and it looks good. So here we have this freaking oversized grenade. I mean, overall it looks kind of good, but it's just, I don't know, it's too big. When it comes to the Punisher figure, I think it looks really solid. Like the build, he's pretty buff, but I think it looks pretty good. The new sculpt. He's basically on a bigger Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body, but I think it really works. I hope they use this for like a Black Panther or another Daredevil. And this thing is bendy, so it won't get in the way when he crunches. So yeah, I like the back sculpting. It all looks really nice. The new torso. Get a bit of the butt, whatever. He has a little holster here, and I think it looks really good. It was a little tight trying to get this gun in, but I kind of had to squeeze it in there. It was a little bent. I got it in on like a couple tries. Gotta keep pushing it. Yeah, it looks pretty good with the gun in there. It adds to the look of this sleek blackness, which I do like, but I prefer the white gloves, white boots. But yeah, the facial sculpt just looks amazing. I feel like it looks really good. I kind of do wish the other head did have the bandana just to give it more like, I don't know, like side to side it look more normal. But it's still cool. Here's a better look at what that screaming head looks like on the body. I think it looks good. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of uncanny to see him screaming like that. It looks kind of funny, but I think it actually does still look pretty good. It's still like a good paint on there. Overall, the sculpt looks decent. It just, his crow looks a little weird, but I prefer this head to be on there and pop it back on. But yeah, here's go to the articulation. He goes up about that far in his arms, well, a little bit more than that. Well, decent amount up. Then we have he has double jointed elbows, pinless. Decent, you know, bicep rotation doesn't get in the way. His head looks up about that far, and then down it goes really far too. They kind of gave up on doing dumbbell hinges, but I hope they can figure it out better. Okay, when it comes to his legs, he has that much out. Better than some Spider-Mans. Then, there you go. Kicks up about that high. All his legs are pinless, unlike Bushwacker. And then double jointed legs that kick straight to his butt. Yeah. And then calf swivel. Yeah. Hinge at the foot too. They didn't paint inside of there, which is kind of lazy, but I don't know. I'm not gonna take this thing off, so it doesn't really matter. Crunches that far forward. And has a decent amount of back. Yeah, overall, it's I love the articulation on this figure. And here we're gonna get to the posing part of the video, and a couple poses I got them into. This is his scale next to Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse. He scales pretty well with the Iron Fist. Iron Fist is on the shorter side on the Renew Your Vows body, which the Punisher is just a bigger version of that. And then The Wildcat and Mr. Terrific are both amazing figures, and obviously they're a bit taller on the 7-inch side. So when it comes to the customization I wanted to do, obviously based off of this white suit on the back of the cover, I wish I could paint better with the blue highlights, but I can't. I'll practice. So all these parts come from an AliExpress Mezco style Punisher, but the arm broke on mine and I tried to repair it and I really couldn't. But when I saw this figure come out, that idea was in my head to give him the white gloves and the white boots that came with this figure. And that's what I'll be trying to do in this video that I took, trying to customize him. And yeah, that figure was like $30 or something like that on AliExpress, but I don't really remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't that expensive at all. So if you want to make this custom, I'll leave a link in the description so you can go buy that. So this is the little boot that came with that Punisher. I have his feet in there too, but we'll get to that. Then here's the foot for his boot. Or no, his other boot cuff. And then the 2 feet you would need to put on there too. And the best way to take pieces off of figures, even Mezco style ones, is just dip them in hot water. If you need to take like arms, legs, things like that, it just ensures you not snapping the figures like wrist pegs or things like that, you know, just snapping the pieces. And that's his little cuff thing, which is pretty. It doesn't have to peg in, so it's just an overlay, which is pretty good for this. And here's a couple of head sculpts that came with that AliExpress figure that I didn't try in this video today, but I'll have pictures up on my Instagram if I can get any of the heads on to see if I like any of them. Then that'll be up on my Instagram, which will be in the description below too. I take photography pictures and posing videos like that, so if you want to see more pictures of the figures I buy and things like that, then it'll be up on there. So there's his hands, and then his other hand that has the pegs in them, which is a problem with this figure. When you pull the hands out, the pegs come out with the hand, which is kind of annoying, but I found the strat is you just want to bend it back all the way, just don't snap the peg, obviously. So what we want to do first is pop this hand off, and then I made a mistake here in trying to push the little cuff on first. I tried to push it on, but it didn't really go on all the way because it was a little bit small, but I had to heat it up with hot water. I like to use a glass bowl for the hot water because it gets more coverage and heats everything up that you need to, and it fits in there better. I had to put it in for about 3 minutes or so, something like that. Then you just want to drop the whole figure in hot water. This is also good if you have stiff figures that feel like their joints will not move at all because it's kind of cold. So like figures can like freeze up and they're straight out the factory and they're getting delivered, and it just makes, like in cold weather, it'll make them stiff. But once you dip them in the hot water, it loosens up the figure a decent amount. But before you do this, you want to pop off any heads and hands just in case you don't want them to shrink or bend. And I put them in there like that to just get full coverage of the body. I need to push the cuffs up. It was so much easier trying to put the cuffs on when it was heated up. It just pushed up right up on there, and then I do on both sides, and it made it less space for the hands to go in, and they fit in perfectly. I threw bushwacker in the hot water too, just to heat him up a little bit, get his articulation better because he's a little stiff. But here's a better look of how he looks with the hands. But you want to pop his calf off, just like to give a little turn and a pull. It won't snap anything when it's heated up. It takes a little bit of strength, and that goes for both of them. And then here he is without his legs. But I try to pop the boots on, and then I was trying to heat it up and shrink the peg a little bit, but overall the hole was too big. So I'd recommend just super gluing the legs on. And people might say like, you're losing the articulation in the calf, but if you buy a Mezco or a Mayfix, they don't have calf articulation. I think overall the articulation in the boot cuff, it kind of just breaks up the sculpt and make it look wonky. So if you just super glue it, it'll just look better and it'll be on there better. What I had to what I had to use was blue sticky tack to kind of hold the peg in, but the hands held on pretty well with the thing. It's just the boot cuffs didn't fit, but I used blue sticky tack and shoved it in there, and I had a soft goods trench coat that I can throw on the figure. And this is how he looks next to Bushwacker. He's actually a little bit taller than he was before, but you can see the little bit of the blue sticky tack in there that I had to use to keep the boots on. But I'm going to fix that later on with just super gluing it. I don't really care about that piece of articulation if I'm losing it. It'll still be well articulated in the torso and the legs too. So, but yeah, he looks pretty good next to the Bushwacker still. He's not shorter or anything. He's just like about the same height, to be honest, but a little bit taller. And I think it came out really well. And here's a couple of pictures I took of him. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want more like this or want me to do something specific, just let me know. And you can check my Instagram out here down below. It's where I take pictures of, you know, I'll have a link to the Instagram, but I take pictures of figures that I buy, Marvel, DC, things like that. And if you guys like that type of stuff or interested in the photos I take, then, or if you came from my Instagram, then yeah, that'll be down below. And if you enjoyed the video, just subscribe, like, and have a good day.